everyone wants to be wooed, you know? I want you on my team. That's exactly what it comes down to. The recruiting process is in full effect with signing day right around the corner. Yogi Roth, Curtis Callaway, Mike Yan with you inside Pac-12 Football, the digital edition. February, we're going to have it. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking everything about signing day, all 12 coaches on February 3rd. You know what it's like to be recruited. Give me a sense of what some of these players are dealing with and what you had to deal with when you were deciding on USC.
Well, it's nothing like when I was being recruited. Number one, social media. I mean, you got guys, every time you look up, they're committing on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, whereas when we were being recruited, you never even knew who the next guy was, you know, until you actually signed on the dotted line and read it in the newspaper. And also, these guys are playing in these huge all-star games across the country, and that's what I love more than anything is you really get the chance to play against some of the top competition across the country, Yogi, and then all of a sudden at halftime or whenever they're pulling these hats out and trying to figure out where they're going to go, we had nothing like that. But at the end of the day, man, I tell you what, watching these kids play together on a stage where they hadn't even played with it. Got no continuity on the football team, but to see all that talent play in one spot and then all of a sudden you like, he's going to USC and he's going to UCLA and you're like, wow, are they having any influence on each other? Like, look, you need to come and go with me. I just think it's cool, man.
What would you have done? Like, would you have made it dramatic? Like, all the hats laid out?
Oh.
You would have definitely, you would have been dramatic.
He would have been dramatic.
I wouldn't have. I actually don't care for it, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. I mean, it's a cool sight and it's a cool image, but to me, it's a big decision.
I think it's too much. I like the game. But I do think it's too much for the kids, in terms of, because I think it's too much control.
It does get a little out of control.
For the kids.
You're exactly right. It has totally changed, and it's because of this.
Yeah.
100%. Here's a great example. If I'm a coach and I call up Curtis and I tell you something, cool, you think, all right, Yogi just told me this, I'm going to be the guy. Yeah. Then I'm going to call up Mike, I'm going to tell you something very similar. Well, I don't think you two are going to talk, but the reality is you both tell someone in the recruiting news world, you both tweet it out, and all of a sudden, coaches, when they used to be able to get away with saying the same thing to two different players, they can't do it anymore. So that has completely changed the game regarding recruiting. I absolutely love how unique this is, and for me, signing day is a magical morning because coaches, especially on the West Coast and the Pac-12, they wake up at 4 a.m., they go to see that fax machine, no clue why they still use fax machines, but they do, and they try to get that East Coast fax machine, especially the LA type schools that are recruiting out of state.
You know what the weirdest thing is?
He just decommitted.
He did?
He did.
Oh, that's not. Well, Coach Roth told me that he thought I was a better athlete than you. So, not a truth teller on that one. So,
wait till I talk to
you. That's fantasy world. For everything that's happening in terms of the recruiting, follow us on Twitter at Pac-12 Networks. You do not want to miss our signing day special, February 3rd, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Once again, all 12 coaches will give us the lay of the land of their programs.
USC? Is that where you're going?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll start from day one. Okay?
Over Curtis.
Tell your mom you got free tickets.